It's a piece of fiction that I wrote for the salon. It's called Still Moving. Mum, I've left the bocce set in the empty lot at the end of our street. Blake and I were there today. We didn't forget it. I just left it there. We wanted to play bocce, but we didn't know the rules, and we were too impatient to read the half sheet of instructions. Actually, that's not true. That's not true at all. We lost it somewhere in the lot, along with a little white marker. I'm sorry. You know the flat pine tree with its top come off? The one with the broad toe roots? With the sap that comes out glue in clots like caramel coffee syrup? We had a good idea for a game where we toss the bocce balls and hole up the trunk with liquid gashes. They're not all that heavy, the bocce balls. In fact, we were very good at it. The tree didn't stop it shivering and spilling the whole time. Then, Blake and I were swooped. We were swooped twice. We just didn't notice at first because it felt so whispery, like a few stray fingers and not like a bird at all. It was a starling, a minor bird. We were thinking it was a mama minor bird, and it was darting at us back and forth, as mama minor birds tend to do when protecting their nests. I remember watching a whole family of minor birds swarm a pigeon. I don't think I told you this. They were chasing her along the curve of a fat knoll, papery arrows all round and about. They chased, and they tore the feathers from out of her until she refused to fly, and then they tore her standing still. But that's not what this is about. We were in the lot, getting swooped, and Blake and I thought that if we walked home and came back again, we could continue our game. The mama bird would be gone by then. They never build their nests in the trees they're defending, it's true. There wasn't a nest in the one we were playing against with the bocce balls. It would have fallen out. And anyway, she cared about it too much. We walked up the hill back home and made ourselves some tea, and each 12 sugars. Then left our mugs by the side of the sink. I know you hate us doing that. When we came back, she took up from the grass. She started her swooping, and the next game we played was runaway, or get kissed at by scissor tips. Then she cheated. She went for my face and got gotten with my hands, and she fell like a whirly dervish, a little spluttering parcel on the ground. Blake pushed her to get her flying again, but it was no good. Her wing was flared, and it spanned at the sky all useless. She was making this dense noise that I fell inside just over and over conker marbles on piano string. And Blake was asking what we should do, just go home? The mum bird was still there, flicking her legs and mouthing out words. I left her, and we went looking for the misplaced pieces of the bocce set, the marker ball and the manual in the grass. The tree casts the afternoon's crest over the lot, and over mama bird, and over her piano wire marbling. I couldn't help thinking that if we had a cat, it would have been fine. If there were pythons in the lot, or dogs, if all of them were hungry all at once, the crying wouldn't be a problem. And I wouldn't have gone back to mama bird with the bocce set, because I took one out, one ball, all swelled up with sap. I moved it in the palm of my hand and I struck her, and jumped her for a moment, and then her crying continued. Blake just went home then without saying anything. I wanted to tell Blake about mama bird underneath, about the grey side of her face that fell out like an impossible googie egg through her crying. How she was still moving, even though I pipped her with the bocce ball. Blake was gone up the hill, probably halfway up to making another tea with 12 sugars. I couldn't bring myself to pip her again, so I left her in the grass with the bocce set. I came in through the door to a dull house, no lights or television speaking, and found Blake in the bathroom with the door locked, trying to stay quiet, trying very hard.